Then it's time to go to the boarding gate. So please, get ready. But, Maja, I'm surprised that you came with your husband.
Well, there's been a lot going on.
You said you two didn't get along. Well, I hope this trip will be a catalyst for marital bliss.
I don't think that will happen.
What?
Because my mother-in-law is with me, too.
Maja,
What?
you look pale.
What? Oh, you're right. What?
I'm worried about putting you on the plane like that. I think it's better to wait.
Yes, you're right. You should do that. I'll get you some souvenirs. My name is Maja. I am an office worker who has been married for 3 years. Daniel, who is a man, is an extreme motherfucker. And Linda, my mother-in-law, is a dimwit who loves to bully her daughter-in-law. They are the worst combination. By the way, today is the day of a company trip at my company. My husband and mother-in-law are coming along on the trip. I don't have a problem with this, because my family is allowed to join the trip. But right before we left, they said something unbelievable. I'm not sick.
No, I understand. In times like this, you listen to your husband. Hey, Mom.
Yes, I wish I could have gone with you, but it's too bad. These people want to go on a trip without me. Just the two of them.
What's wrong? Mr. Director, something seems to be wrong with my wife. What? Maja, are you okay?
No.
So I'm sorry, Maja, but we're going to have to leave her behind. I see. If you're not feeling well, it can't be helped. Then I'll go and cancel everyone's portion now. No, my mother and I are going. What? No, it's a company trip, so just the chaperones. I understood. I'm sorry, but it's a special case. I'll admit it. Let's go. See you, Maja.
Damn. My boss, Rui, allowed them to participate without me. But, to be honest, I wanted to have a fun trip with people from the company. But I'm honestly disappointed that it turned out like this. I went back home, pushing down my frustration. When I arrived home and was getting settled, I received a phone call from Rui.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm not sick.
I knew it, didn't I? I don't think you said that when we were talking right before.
I think he said that because he wanted to travel without me.
I see.
But more importantly, thank you for understanding and allowing them to go on this trip.
When I saw you, you nodded your head, so I thought there must be something going on.
Actually, I told Rui everything that had happened up until now, and all the ideas and plans that I was going to do in the future.
I see. But will that work?
I think it will be fine. I just saw a pamphlet about the trip and saw the words family can accompany, and I bid on it.
Have they not read the terms and conditions of the trip or something?
Not at all.
I see, I understand. Then we'll cooperate when we can.
Thank you. The general manager who listened and promised to cooperate. He's really reliable. I also made various preparations here as soon as possible. And on the last day of the trip was fun.
Yes, it was, Mom. Then let's go home and brag to Maja all over the place.
Right. Sir, please wait. Please wait.
What? What is it?
You haven't paid the bill yet.
Settlement? Isn't that supposed to be paid by the company?
No, I understand that you are responsible for your own expenses. I was told that it is the responsibility of the individual. Isn't that it? The room service charge.
I see. Well, I guess I'll have to pay that much myself. How much is it?
The room rate will be $30,000.
What? That can't be.
Yes, it is. I have heard that from the person in charge, Mr. Rui. There must be some mistake.
Oh, Mr. Director. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It looks like there's some kind of charge. That will be charged if it is used, won't it?
That's not right. I thought the company pays for company trips.
What? It's true that the company pays for it, but...
If that's the case, tell the receptionist.
But it's only for the employees' portion, right? What? The company will pay for the employees' portion, but the family's portion is at their own expense. I didn't hear that. I thought we gave you a letter of explanation along with the company trip information. What? That's not possible. At the very least, I'm a company employee, so I can't accept a request unless it's from an employee. Then if Maja asks you to do something, you'll do it? Certainly, if the conditions are met. Wait a minute. Maja?
What's wrong?
I'm just returning from a trip, but I was charged $30,000 for accommodation.
Oh my god, that's a lot of money.
I told the manager, and he said that I had to pay for my family's portion.
That's right.
What? You knew that?
I know, but it was written in the description, wasn't it?
Well, there's no way I would read that.
That's not my issue, though.
Then you should have told me at the time.
Do you remember the situation back then?
What?
When I came home from work and was taking a bath, you took my bag without permission because you wanted money.
Was it?
You found a travel brochure there on your own and got excited.
No.
I checked it several times, didn't I?
Check what?
That if you really read the instructions, you said it's fine.
I read it carefully.
Then you have to pay for it.
If we pay $30,000, it will damage our family's finances.
Huh?
So I asked the general manager, and he said he would listen if it was an employee's opinion or request. So why don't you tell the general manager?
What?
He said he'd pay for a share of the cost.
By the way, what did the director say?
He said he'll work with us if we meet his conditions.
I see.
I know, that's why you first...
Then I guess you guys will have to pay for it yourselves.
What? Why?
First of all, the company pays for your accommodations, but the money you spend in your private time is your own expense. If you received a bill of $30,000, you must have done whatever you wanted, right?
That's because that wasn't explained to me.
If you think about it, you'd understand, wouldn't you?
Even if that's the case, the company has to pay for it. The company has to pay its share. $30,000 is too much.
That's why the company is only paying for the employees' portion.
But the general manager said he'll work on it. He said he can probably get it out.
Sure, in some cases, depending on the employees' sales figures, they will pay out the family portion as well. I am the top salesperson.
If that's the case, please ask the director to pay for ours.
That's impossible, isn't it?
What? Don't be stupid. This is something that concerns you too.
So that's something I'm not involved in at all.
What?
Do you remember what happened just before we left?
What?
Daniel, You told me, right?
What?
I don't need a cocky bitch like you.
That's right. If you weren't so cocky, you'd be a good guy. This is your chance to make up for it.
No, I'm not going to do it. I mean, I don't have to.
What?
At that time, if you didn't want to change your attitude, you would have politely brought me the divorce papers that you had already filled out, wouldn't you? That's why I filled it out and submitted the day after you left me.
What? Wait a minute.
What's wrong?
What do you mean you filed for divorce?
What do you mean? You wanted a divorce, didn't you?
That was only if you didn't change your attitude.
I didn't put it out there because I don't want to change. And I don't think there's anything to change anymore.
That's what's so cocky about you.
That's why I filed for divorce, so you don't have to worry. So, goodbye.
Wait a minute.
So what?
Tell that to the director.
You know what? I don't know if you've noticed, but the company only pays for employees. Well, there are special cases where they will pay between family members.
I told you so.
You and I are not family anymore, okay? He seemed to have finally realized the essence of this and seemed to be at a loss of words. But as expected of the director, I can't believe he let us here so that Daniel and the others wouldn't notice.
I don't approve of that.
What?
You can't just file for divorce on your own.
What are you talking about? Daniel brought the divorce papers, didn't he? Not to mention, it's already filled out.
Oh, that was just a surprise.
What?
It seemed like you weren't taking good care of your mother lately, so I meant to tell you that if things continue like this, I'm going to divorce you.
That's why I said go ahead.
That's not what I meant.
You know what? I was dissatisfied with both Daniel and your mother.
What the hell are you talking about?
Because, I did, didn't I? When I was sick in bed, she would come all the way over here and complain to me,
Well, that's just a coincidence, and a lot more. I've been treated so badly that I thought it was my job to bully my wife. That's your mistake, isn't it?
If you can call that a misunderstanding, then we can't stay married after all.
No, that's why, from now on, I'll follow you properly.
Listen, it's not just about her, but also about you.
What did I do?
You should help me with the housework more.
Well, that's the case with most men in the world.
Well, there are certainly people like that.
Then it's selfish of you to say so.
That's not the decisive point.
What?
The part where you pretend not to see me even when I'm being bullied by your mother.
I didn't.
On the contrary, you and your mother would get together and snipe at me.
We didn't do that.
Are you trying to tell me that I'm wrong about that too?
Yes, that's right.
I see. But this time we have objective evidence.
What?
Just before we left, how dare you treat me like a sick person?
Oh, that was because you looked pale.
Everyone was wondering. You've been talking fine up until now, so why did you get sick?
Physical condition can suddenly collapse, can't it?
Well, it's true.
That's why, at the time...
But you know what?
What?
You were talking to your mother-in-law on the plane, weren't you?
What?
That you succeeded in making me sick and leaving me behind so you can have fun together.
What? Why?
Your mother seemed pleased that it worked out so well.
Why did you...
The director was sitting in the back seat. He told me everything you guys talked about.
Damn.
This testimony would prove that you and your mother together were snoring at me.
No,
Well, it doesn't really matter anymore. We are divorced.
well, that's...
By the way, I consulted a lawyer right after Daniel and the others left for the trip.
What?
Let's talk about the division of property when you return.
Property division?
By the way, I checked with my lawyer and it doesn't look like there's even $100,000 that will go to you.
What? That can't be true. You had savings. You split that in half, didn't you?
It's only my account that has savings, and there's only a small balance in the account we share as husband and wife.
Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense.
Daniel, it doesn't seem strange to me. We made a promise when we got married, didn't we? We each saved our own money and we would put regular monthly payments into an account that we shared as our living expenses.
No, that's not...
Daniel said, so you can keep all the money in your own account that you saved, okay?
No, that's not...
I don't know anything about that, though I do know that he seems to have used the money in the share account without permission.
What?
Well, I'll let you off the hook this time. Well, that's that then. I'll go through my lawyer.
Hey!
What?
The cost of staying here is...
Oh, if you don't have any savings, you can't pay for it.
Please forgive me and pay me this time.
I will never forgive you.
What?
You've made fun of me so much up until now, and I don't care to listen to you whining when I'm in trouble.
No, that's... I'm really sorry.
To be honest, I was hoping that this trip would give us a chance to talk about things and get on the right track as a couple, but now that I know you don't want to do that, I'll let it go.
No, that's not true. I want to be a good couple with you too.
If that were the case, you wouldn't have taken your mother with you. That's why it's impossible. Give it up.
Don't say that. What am I going to do now?
You're going to have to work hard and pay for your accommodation first.
If you do that, you won't be able to go to work, will you?
Right? But it's none of my business.
Please.
I don't know.
What?
This time, I brought the divorce papers from you and we talked about divorce from you, so I'm going to charge you alimony.
Alimony?
That's right. I'm sure my lawyer will be in touch with you about that as well. So please, do your best.
I'm so sorry. Please, forgive me.
It's too late. Bye. After that, it seems that Daniel and the others were taken away by the police overseas because they couldn't pay for their lodging. They managed to borrow money from their relatives and came back, but Daniel was fired from the company because he kept skipping work. They had to repay their debts to their relatives and to me since they had borrowed money from me behind my back. He also owed me alimony. I had to take on a considerable amount of debt. Daniel alone cannot repay the debt this time, so his mother is working with him to repay the debt, but they are just barely making ends meet. Eventually, he fell behind in his repayments and became a street dweller, and his whereabouts are unknown.